Hello again. Now, one thing I am going to pull kind of not close to the heart as such, but two favourite places. And I very rarely do food reviews. I've made cakes and bits and bobs which I've put on here. But this is something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, and I just keep forgetting or not really having the time. Or that is pretty much the situation. It's either. And if you know the two places I'm about to explain, you'll know why. It comes down to money primarily, because they can get expensive very, very fast, and time, because I don't have a huge amount of either at the moment for a while. So the places are Wagamamas and Yo Sushi. Now, my original plan was to do a which is better type thing. And having a think about it, that isn't going to be doable because, well, I'll explain. During the week, I've had the week off, and I went up to London with my wife. And we were trying to find out where to go for dinner on the way home. We ended up being at Victoria Station on the day that the tube strike happened. And we ended up going to Yo Sushi, and it was relatively quiet in there, and I didn't feel comfortable taking a video in there. Basically doing a review / criticism of their food, especially when one of the chefs who was holding this huge knife was standing not more than a meter in front of me. So you have me, the conveyor belt workstation, and this knife was pretty damn big. So I'm thinking probably not. But what I will say is how much I like both. Now, I'm a big fan of Asian food. But specifically with Wagamamas and Yo Sushi. Now, I quite like the kind of principal ideas of both. For instance, I'll start with Yo Sushi. So, Yo Sushi, if you've never been there, is not a typical sushi restaurant. So the idea being is that you sit around effectively a giant conveyor belt, and little bowls, probably about sort of yay big, come along, go around, and each one has got a different colour. And I think there's about eight different colours now, and each one has a different price relating to it, starting from about £2 to about, I think it's about 7-8 quid for the more high end things. And they do the usual sushi stuff, and then they do hot food, cold food, desserts, although there are only a few of them, and then obviously you get all the drinks, but the drinks are separate, so they don't go around on the conveyor belt, because otherwise they'll get hot or get knocked over, etc. Everything is made on site, and you can go very, very silly very, very quickly if you're not, prepared to look at the prices. So, both me and my wife were careful this time, and I think it came to about 18 quid in the end. But we had enough to, be fed our dinner, and the only reason that we ended up having a bit more when we got home is because, like I said, it was the day of the tube strike, so all the trains were really ballsed up. Thank you, Southern Rail. What? Is she needing you? Sorry, my wife's watching the iPad and the cat's needing her. Quite like that. Which is something she does. So we ended up having quite a nice meal out there, and it was a good price. All the food was brilliant. So I would thoroughly recommend, if you've got someone who doesn't like to have a huge amount of food, this is kind of like the perfect place. Like I said, everything's fresh and it's brilliant. Next one is Wagamamas. This is a place that I've been to repeatedly when I had money, and it didn't sort of fall through my fingertips. I was originally introduced to the one in Brighton, and it's just amazing. The difference between Yo Sushi and Wagamamas, except for the fact that the one in Brighton, they are no more than maybe 20 seconds apart from each other, which is what my original plan was. I was going to go to one, have a meal there, then go to the other and continue it, but that didn't work. Wagamamas effectively is laid out like strips of rows of tables, but rather than being waiter service, so you get your starters, eat them, then your main, like the standard way. This one is literally a case of when it's ready, it's out. So you could end up with one plate, or you could have 4 or 5. You could have satellites of plates. Sometimes when I've been out there with friends, we'll all get a main each, and then we'll get loads of sides, and just have them dotted all over the place. And the other thing is, like I said, although there are strips of tables, you could be sitting next to a complete stranger, and that's the thing I quite like about it, because you can sometimes get into conversations with other people, and genuinely have a bit of a laugh with them. Yeah, I've been out a few times there, and I've had that situation happen to me, and it's just genuinely quite fun. That's the one in Brighton that I've seen the strip table, and there's one in London, and I can't remember where it is. I know I think it's near the Eye, so don't quote me on that one. But the one in Horsham, they are actually proper individual tables and booths, because it's not a very big place, but the food there is just amazing. I've not changed my menu course from any occasion I've been there, so it always ends up being nagimi yakitori, tori kariagi, chicken katsu curry, and the chocolate cake with wasabi. Now, the chocolate cake with wasabi sounds disgusting, but trust me, you need this in your life. Nagimi yakitori is chicken skewers, you get about 3 or 4 bits per part. It's got like a spring onion in between each part, and it's covered in a sauce, and it's really, really nice. Tori kariagi I recently added, which is their take on deep fried chicken, and it's really nice. And it's got loads of different spices, etc. and stuff. And then chicken katsu curry is pretty much what it sounds like. So breaded chicken with curry sauce and rice. And I make that at home. I haven't made it as authentic as I want, but damn it, it works. Okay, it just works. The problem with both places, as I said, is the cost. Now, as I said, both me and my wife, you can be careful, and you can just look ahead at the menu and think, okay, this is what I'm going to have. I must stick to it. And I have had to do that a few times, and I've still had fun on that night out. But when you've got a lot of people with you and drinks are getting thrown in, that's when it starts getting really expensive. So, for instance, I went out for my birthday, a few years back, and for 6 people, it came over 100 quid. And we didn't have a huge amount, that's the thing. But the food there is amazing. So if you ever get a chance, even if you only go once, just so you can struck it off your list, etc., I thoroughly recommend it. And the same with Yo Sushi, go to both of them. If there are any suggestions of other places that you think I might like and are near to, I'm in the southeast, so London's about half an hour for me by train. Brighton's the opposite direction, so go for it. Send them to me or write them in the description below, and I'll see what I can do. Right, so that's my food review, and now I'm going to go have some breakfast because that's now made me hungry. I will see you lovely lot later. Bye.